Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV. You know this channel, you know who we are. And tonight we have a brand new concept called the Manchester United Experience. And I have some guest panels waiting because we got to call a spade as what we do here on this channel. Hope you're doing well. It's Monday. We're going to be a little bit more serious, talk about tonight's show. We have Coach Kojo waiting in the background, waiting to come in. We have Stu Woolley as well, potentially some other people calling in as well. But, we're going to talk about the anti-United media agenda. We all know what we're talking about. We've seen it. We're going to talk also about the FA Ref VAR agenda. What's that all about, to be honest? Also the takeover clickbait, because we got to talk about a little bit about the takeover news. What's going on there? Is it happening? Is it not happening? It's basically the sports journalists versus the Bloombergs and the Reuters. But also at the end of the day, we're going to talk about the Crystal Palace preview. Are we going to play the kids? Are we going to rotate? We have also Nuruddin, Mr. Structure, coming in as well, together with Coach Kojo. But we're here to attack. We are here to attack. So smash a like. You know what to do. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you haven't liked, like now, because we are not like the greedy glazers that take dividends. We have amazing panel waiting here just for you. We're going to attack.
We want to attack! We want United! We want to attack! We want to attack! We want to attack!
So we're back here and we're going to bring each and everyone to the stage. We have Nuruddin in the house. What a guest of honor. How you doing, Nura?
Good, man. Big up everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed.
You know what it's all about. We're not like the greedy glazers, mate. We don't take any dividends, but we do take your likes, right?
There we go.
There we go. Stu Woolley, it's been a hot minute as well. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Looking forward to the show, actually, something a bit different. So, yeah, big up to all of you. Good to see you again, Nuruddin. It's been a while, you're right. It's been a while.
Yeah, 100%. Nura, you was just on the Straight Jacket podcast as well, right? I saw a little glimpses of that. Big show, man. Big show. Listen, we had a must-win 3 points the other day. How do you feel as a fan base? Do you feel a little bit more relaxed going forward, or what's your general mood? Start with you, Nuruddin. It was a shit game, but
it was. The second half was like pulling teeth. It was a really hard watch. The first half we got bopped all over the place, and we were lucky to take the lead. I think we scored against the run of play, but that's happened to us this season as well. Lots of times, to be fair to us, we always have to tell the truth and when we analyze the football games. So Manchester United, basically in the first half, we got bopped all over the park by a newly promoted relegation for the Burnley. The confidence down, but that team that he picked, I didn't expect too much. My expectation wasn't huge, but I was really frustrated with the players because we could have scored 2 or 3 in the game. We had the opportunities to do it, winning the ball high up the pitch. And what I liked about it is that we didn't go for man. We actually sat back in, and because we had to stop the bleeding. At a moment in time, Manchester United were walking around with massive gash and blood coming out for the past how many games? 4 games. So we had to win by any means necessary, and we had to stop the bleeding. So the 3 points, absolutely happy with that. The performance, the football, no, I was absolutely dejected because in the last 10 years, and it pains me, in the last 10 years, that's all I've watched. And it's because the reason why that is because Manchester United do not have the experts in the right areas above the manager. We don't have the right owners. They don't support manager. Talent comes here to die. Managers here come here to die. And that's the reason why we can't play better football. And people are like, but what are you talking about? It's the pitch. It's not just the manager. No. What you don't understand about football and top flight sport is all of the work that's done behind the scenes, all of the expertise, all of that off the pitch to what you see what's on the pitch. Manchester United are not that football club. We're run on the Glazonomics. There's a huge propaganda that to keep the status quo the way it is. And unfortunately, talent, managers, it becomes a result business. And Manchester United traditions and history have always been entertaining, exciting football. Stuart would tell you that. Nick will tell you that.
Yeah.
They're a generation.
Yeah, before we continue, I just want to say big up to Mark that just gifted 5 membership. You're a legend. Thank you, Mark, for gifting 5 membership. Let's see who is becoming a member here soon to come. But before we continue, big up everyone. Big shout out to Mark that just gifted 5 members in, mate. But Stuart, can I have your hand, please, and put it here? Pretend this is the Bible. You swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Talk to me about the game performance.
Yeah, so look, Nuruddin was pretty much spot on. I thought it was a lazy performance by us. It wasn't even that we lacked a kind of, well, we did lack dynamism, but it wasn't as if we kind of lacked anything but we couldn't be bothered. And that's the biggest issue for me. I'm a footballer. I've been playing all my life. I'm still playing for my sins, and I take it seriously. I'm a terrible, terrible winner. And I'm a really bad loser. And I just get the impression that our team right now at this point in time don't give a damn whether they win or lose. And when you look at the emotion that Casemiro had in his face and Bruno scored, it was almost as if he was saying, thank God somebody's doing something today, because the whole lackluster performance is unacceptable from elite Premiership footballers, let alone when you sport the shirts of Manchester United. Now, I could go into individuals, I could rip them to pieces. I ripped Hoyland to pieces the other day. I got castigated for it, but as Nuruddin says, you've got to look at football first. It's just because you like the guy, you've got to look at what he wasn't doing in the game, not because he wasn't allowed to do it. He just wasn't making the runs. He wasn't making the space that we needed. And then you can go in on Rashford if you want, because he's just greedy at the moment. He's doing his best, isn't he, to score goals. You could go in at Bruno. Bruno had an okay game, but it was flashes. Casemiro, flashes. Johnny Evans was probably our most constant of the whole game. And the interesting thing about Johnny Evans, he added a real, I don't know, Nuruddin, you would have picked this up, I know you would have, but he added a calmness to Onana. You notice the way that Onana was playing with Evans there. Evans was communicating all the time. This is what I want you to do. This is where I need you to be. Dallo was slightly better with Evans in the team. I thought Reguilón has been okay. He's at least trying to affect the game. So Nuruddin's right. It was a very, very lackluster performance. I've been in situations where you'd be happy with a 1-0 win. You would do, we scraped the result, but you can't be happy with the way that we performed. I thought we were better away at Bayern during the week. I thought we were better. I thought we offered more. And so, I'm not really quite sure what's going on in Ten Hag's mind at the moment. There's a real trust issue with some of the squad. But again, if you pull on the jersey of Manchester United, you are an elite footballer. You're at a level that you would class as elite, and I'm just not seeing it with the team at the minute. So I was massively frustrated, and I've been at it all week. To be honest, I'm just, Saturday night, I just wanted to chuck the towel in. I was fed up with them. I'm just fed up with Manchester United as a whole. The whole club, it's just rotten, isn't it? It's like a cesspit. And I'm fed up with it.
No, I feel your pain, my brother. But coming to Turf Moor, it's never an easy task. You've been to Turf Moor, right? It's a pissy ground, to be honest, and it's very old school in a way. Old school. Yeah. But yeah, for me, all it mattered for me was to get those 3 points. Right? We didn't play well. I kind of didn't understand the substitution, but at the end of the day, I kind of look at it. You needed to have some response, some rotation. So I thought he put in people had energy and legs, in order to put in Hannibal Magebury. I think it was good, to have him as a number 10. He was at it, he was that little shister. So I got to give Hannibal Magebury his roses, and also Johnny Evans. Oh my God, I put my hand up, Nura, I put my hand up. Sorry, because we had the warm-up session, and I said, look, Johnny Evans. Oh my God, we have the Twin Towers there with Lindelof and Johnny Evans, but you know what? He didn't put 1 foot wrong. And what a brilliant assist on his weaker foot. And what a goal of Bruno. I was watching your post-match show as well, Nura. You also gave him in the roses, right?
100%. At the end of the day, try to be as objective as I can.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how I feel. To me, if you needed to know where Manchester United are at, Manchester United let go Johnny Evans in his peak, and they brought him back when he's ended his career. And if you wanted to have any indication where the club is at, who makes the decisions on what the club is about, Johnny Evans typifies that. But fair due to him, he absolutely he was our best player. I mean, the thing about it is that if you watch Johnny Evans when he was at Manchester United, he always had those in his locker. He's a good player. He's very calm, very composed. The ball, left foot, right foot, you pick it, the diagonals, he'll put it on somebody's toe. That's one of the best things about Johnny Evans, the best things. And I didn't agree at the time when that he was let go. But for me, no other signing this season typified where Manchester United as a football club is signing of Johnny Evans. He's in his last legs. He's in his end of his career. Not even a team in League Two came in for him. Not Championship came into him. No team in the promoted, none of the promoted teams came in for him. And usually, Stuart will tell you, Mick will tell you, that's where players towards the end of their careers, the newly promoted teams go for them because they think they've got the experience. If they can at least be good thing, they can be a good pro on a training ground and they can settle people down. But 100% I agree with Stu, especially Onana. He had that calmness to him. I thought Diego Dalot was sloppy. Knowing that we've got no other right back, I thought Diego Dalot, there's some of the Stuart talked about being lazy. Some of his defending, when the guy's going on the outside, instead he's got the pace, he's got the power to move him off the ball and win the ball back, but he makes a lazy challenge. I thought that typified the performance for me. When your right back makes, not that the fact that the defender came in centrally and the attacker came in centrally and was towards our goal. I don't mind defenders taking a yellow card, but the guy was on the outside, nowhere near goal, and it was a bit of a foot race. And the laziness in Manchester United, he brings him down for absolutely no reason and gets the yellow, knowing that we've got nobody who can play right back on that bench. And then he was giving the ball away right, left, and centre. But yeah, in that bad bunch, Evans stood out against all of my criticism. And we've got to handle that. And for me, I don't mind my opinion being wrong because I said we're going to be over. But if they had any of their shooting boots in that 20 minutes, half an hour when they dominated the game, they would have gone 2 ahead at least.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was just reflecting on the post interview when they interviewed Johnny Evans, and the bloke spoke with heart. Like, he was so happy to play for Manchester United. He couldn't believe, they're asking, did you fantasize about? Yeah, I dreamt a little bit about, he's living his dream, like, in his last twilight, to be honest. So big up to the lad, like, because he understands what Manchester United DNA is all about. Some leadership in the locker room, and he displayed good leadership there as well. Now, anyway, big up for Angie. Like, oh my God, Angie, you're such a legend. Angie just gifted 10 membership. Like, 100%. You are a legend, Angie. Like, Mercus became a member. Mark Brooks became a member. Let's see, Sargon became a member. LB became a member as well. Duncan was gifted a membership. Matthew Taylor as well. Big up to all of you. Massive thanks to Angie. She is our queen of the moderators. And by the way, guys, please, I did a Q&A, so if you can retweet this stream, if you have Twitter, please get as many people into this chat room as well, because we have a special incoming. Somebody's at the door, Stu.
Who is it?
Knock, knock. Kojo, long time no see, brother. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you doing? It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute, my friend. How you been?
Yeah, I've been all right. Still trying to get used to being a dad. And
congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm still trying
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's kind of hard having to watch United and then having to compose myself and look at her and try and smile. It's not an easy sport, but we're doing it. So yeah, I'm good. But how's everybody doing?
Yeah, it's good. Have you guys met before, like Nura and Kojo? Have we spoken before?
I think we might have.
Yeah, we've been on the same stream before. Yeah.
Oh, wicked. Yeah. Fantastic. It's good that we can connect each other. Have you met Stu, by the way? Stu Woolley?
First time.
No, it's our first time.
Okay. People, for you that don't haven't seen Kojo for a while, he runs a brilliant podcast. Been on it as well, called Three in the Midfield. You should check it out. It's an amazing podcast. So glad to have you on board, Coach Kojo, and good to see you. Life has been good to you. Congratulations for becoming a dad. Changing diapers is not easy, I guess, but it's
Not
better
fun.
than watch that shit show that we've been seeing for the past 4 games. Anyway, Kojo, we were just reflecting about the win against Burnley the other day, and we said, like, we're happy with the 3 points, but where do we go from here? Do you see us kicking forward from now, like, with injured players coming back into the squad? Or
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. Any team that has the amount of injuries that we have would have a bit of a crisis. So it's just about navigating it. And again, it's only Ten Hag's second season. So until he manages to actually build his own team, you're still going to see some inconsistencies in the way we play and everything. But 3 points on the board, considering the last couple of results, I think we just need to take this and run with it. There's no point of complaining or anything like that. The only thing that's frustrating me is not actually with the players or him. It's with the fans and this obsession about ripping into Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford and what they do or don't do. And I get it. We were blessed with watching some of the best players play at Old Trafford, and when the going got tough, these guys stood up on occasion, time again. But I feel like it's just got to the point where we've gone from fairly criticizing these players to very, very much underappreciating how good they are. And someone like Bruno Fernandes can be frustrating, but I just feel like it's because, just like any top player in the history of football, if you have good players around you, you will thrive and you will shine. If you have players around you that are very inconsistent as well as yourself, you're going to have days where you're off it. But we got the win. He scored a beautiful goal. Johnny Evans with a beautiful assist. Can't complain. 3 points in the bag. Let's move on to Palace.
yeah, no, I like this title saying, the video title is like From Glory to Just Being a Story. So reiterating what you said, like we got to move away from the glory days because we are not the same Manchester United used to be. But what we can look forward to is to back the manager, kill the media agenda, and get new ownership so we can actually get back to the glory days, right? So I think that a lot of fans are kind of still living in the past. And then you have the new generation football players, the new generation fans as well. They don't understand the DNA. From one minute to the other, they play FIFA. They think you can sort of swap the like of the player. Like, if Sancho is not playing, then you slag the other player off. And some fans were sort of crying out for having like a police to play, and as soon as police to play, the next day you see the same fans slagging off police. So I don't really get that generational fans, and I don't really get the generational Jadon Sancho that rather stays up and late and play FIFA PlayStation to 3 a.m. and rock up late and getting paid $350. But we're going to talk all about that. But before we continue, guys, I need to shout out everyone that is in the VR room, because without you guys, there would not be any show. Without your support, without your super chat and membership, big up to all of you who's in the house. I'm going to shout out to Jolly's in here. African is ours. Big up to man. Big up Africa. How are you doing? It's almost recurring every week, and people defend it. When a United player does something, there's always this outrageous shout to the prosecutor, to the referee. But when the man suffers, everyone mutes. 100%, my friend. We're going to talk about that as well. Lucky Singh is in the house as well. Big up to you, Lucky, as well. I can see you. I feel you. Neil Driscoll is here. Billy Connolly is here. Who else is here? RJ is here. Big up to RJ. Manenza is also here. There's a lot of cross channelists, like people that come to Nuradin's channel, my channel, Flying Pig United, ITNT is here. Ronak Joss is here. Box is here. Angie's here. Big up for donating all these super chats and memberships, guys. So anyway, Peter, what we out with that alien tenor, Peter. Big up to you, Peter. How you doing, my friend? Nuradin, Stu, and chat. Guys, for every moderators, pat yourself on the back and welcome to the Monday stream, because we have a busy schedule. We have a lot of things to talk about, and we got to respect also Kojo. You got a baby. We're not going to try to overrun this show as well. So yeah, how much time do you have, my friend?
So as long as I have, I don't know, she could come and scream at any moment. So let's just keep going.
Yeah, it's better than Scholesy. Scholesy once coming. We know. I have my terrorist here, my cat as well. That's my baby as well. Edward Reid is here. RJ, let's kick on the show, guys. Let's do this, because I want to bring this to the agenda today. because we got to talk about the anti-media agenda, right? So, Nuruddin, you and me and Alice has been very, very consistent in certain ways, and I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of this person in general. We got to call people that are anti-United journalists, right? So I know, Nuruddin, that you have a lot of things to say about him, but I'm just going out of multiple tweets that about the gash, about the gossip reporting, instead of doing the proper journalist, and you claim to be a Manchester United supporter. I kind of feel that these journalists are there like as a planted mold to divide and conquer. Even in Sky Sports, BT Sports, everyone that's talking, they're getting paid by editorials to talk shit. But we got to stop this thing. I think that Manchester United fans are waking up to this. I mean, there's a tweet here saying players feel that Ten Hag's approach does not suit his skills, and hence they favor more pragmatic approach against Liverpool. Samuel Locker's blah 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 blah. Right? Talk to me, Nura.
What can I say? So basically, what I would say is that this guy that you put on Samuel Lockers, he is a vulture, just like the Glazers. A majority of the media vulture of Manchester United. Whether Manchester United are struggling like we have been for the past decade, and whether we're winning titles, they vulture of the football club. They make names, they make money from Manchester United. Manchester United is headline news. You would never in your life ever think Manchester United are both in headline news, global football media, when we got the Man City who've just done a treble. Like, you would never in your life think that those two clubs are in the same city. When you've got City doing a treble, right? Historic treble for them, and a Manchester United. So at the end of the day, they literally contribute to the circus. They're part of the propaganda machine that the Glazers and the bankers have set up. They're part of that, and they will throw anybody under the bus. And then we have owners who basically believe, like most modern capitalists, they believe the idea that there's no such thing as bad PR. All PR is good. About 10, I think the idea developed about 10, 15 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And it basically went where PR, right, if it's bad, it's still good because eyes on the prize. And we've got a CEO, his name is Richard Arnold, and he's on record talking about how Manchester United interactions in the social media and why the idea that us being linked to every player is good. So I believe this is the club generated. The club win this, they win. They win either way because Manchester United's name is trending. Manchester United, and everybody clickbaits the fan base about this story, that story. And that newspaper, actually, the Manchester Evening News, used to be a very reputable newspaper back in the day. Really good. It was one of the only news sources before social media, people. Yes, there was time before mobile phones and social media.
Yes.
They used to happen. You used to have old school phones where you used to put your finger around the numbers and people used to call them. This is what used to happen. And football wasn't live. Every game wasn't live on TV. You had to actually go to the stadiums and watch games. This time existed to the FIFA generation. So that newspaper was good. Used to have fantastic reporters, fantastic insight into Manchester United. Now, this is part of modern journalism. It's about being sonographers and clickbaiters than anybody else. And then he has the audacity to look down on YouTubers. What all of the media literally are on social media. They sometimes write articles about anybody's tweets. That is what the modern media is. So he's part of it. He's part of the circus. We are run by people who are in charge of the circus. They're not even in charge. It's a free-for-all. We are managed by people like Richard Arnold, and we've got a special propagandist called Neil Ashton. I didn't want to know about all this. I used to just go to the games, and I used to get frustrated about the results. I had to go and do all this research myself. I had to educate myself who the Bristol bankers were, who Matt Judge was, Richard Arnold, who Ed Woodward. What's their connection? What's their connection to so this is who we are. And these type of, he has been pointed out before, referring to the Islamic and Arabic wear of headdress.
With a tea towel.
To referring to that as a tea towel. he's been done before, where he referred to mixed heritage and black players as exotic, like they're plants or like some animals, some pet, some bird. This is the type of level of person who he is, and he gets called out for it. So in terms of him being credibility, I was one of the first, Mick, to call him out.
Yeah, you
So
did.
it was refreshing to see him trending and fans not buying his BS, because he's got no contact. He knows nothing, but he pretends, because modern media is about the clicks. That is all it is. It's not about having investigative journalists doing thorough stories. It's about clicks.
I got two, actually. I mean, I'm going to respond to you to say that, you know, it comes down to our YouTubers are actually better journalists, because Alice, you, me, we do all the research and we do report it on daily basis, while other journalists are just rehashing, using AI, ChatGPT AI to generate the same story, but they just put the headlines up to bait you in a way. But I have two other respected journalists also. Like, I know Kojo used to be on Talk Sport, talking there as well. I know, Stu, you also work in the media sector, like, but in a different racing capacity. Can you can you guys share the experience? I mean, has journalism gone tits up nowadays? Is it just total BS at the moment, or is it all about listen to what the chief and editor is saying for you? Oh, Scholesy, how you doing? Scholes is in the house. Just to repeat the question, I mean, do you do everything that the chief and editor is saying? Like, talk about this, talk about that. He's shit. He's that for generating clicks. I go with you, Stu Wally.
Yeah, look, journalism has gone very, very lazy. You're absolutely right about rehashing of articles. Plagiarism used to be huge back in the day, but back when I started out my journalistic career, if you even overcopied a single word or a single sentence, you can pulled up for it on a copyright issue. But today, what the likes of Custis do, and all these journalists that pretend to be linked to a club, they're not actually linked to Manchester United in that way. They're linked to a junior person within the club. And this junior person within the club, and Cojo will tell you this because it happens all the time, and it doesn't matter if it's in football or it could be in MotoGP where I work and World Supers. If they get a little snippet, just a tiny snippet of information that Ross is not going to race without his earrings, just as an example, then they start to push it. And then what they're trying to do is build their own careers within the teams, because look, I want you to come to me now because I'm in the know. Come to me, I will tell you what's going on. And they don't. Where journalism's got massively lazy is the investigation part. A lot of journalists now, Luckhurst in particular, he'll have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 runners. Kojo will know this through TalkSport. So if Kojo's been tasked with a specific story, he gets his runners or his aides or whoever, his interns who are working around him, and say, right, this is what I want from you. Go away and give me the information. Now, sorry, I'm not saying you did that, Kojo. I'm just saying that's what happened as a whole. So what you should be doing, or what any credible journalist should be doing, is not double checking what they've done, but do it yourself. Do it yourself first, and then get them to come back with information, and then you can either pad or remove, depending on what information you got. But the biggest problem you've got right now, the biggest issue you've got, is social media and is Manchester United, because all you've got to do within an article, any article, put Manchester United in it, and the clickbait quadruples. It's got nothing to do with the headline or anything of that nature. It's the sheer fact of Manchester United. City win the treble, and then the next day, Anthony's stories come out, hasn't it? Or a story came out on the front pages, completely overshadowed what, and whether we like it or not, because we're treble winners, an achievement City had done. It was all about Manchester United. So I'm quite sad right now to be a journalist. I'm quite sad to be labelled as a journalist because there are too many of us, and there've been too many in the past. I'm telling you now, there'll be even worse in the future, that may have gone up to Bradford to journalism school, and try to learn their craft, try and craft a message of credibility that'll just get completely knocked down by the likes of Lucas. It's a shame. Sorry, Kojo, I don't know how much you agree with that or disagree with,
Yeah, I'll pass the mic to Kojo to see what you have to say.
No, I don't disagree. It's quite frustrating for me because Mick knows that for my podcast, I don't ever try to do sensationalism. My thing is come to talk the real. I don't like doing rumors. I like doing what's based fact. And if it is a rumor, we speak about it in terms of if it's true or if it's not true, what can come from it. I don't buy into, and even on my Twitter, I don't buy into saying something to just get people to come talk to me about it. I don't believe in that. With somewhere like Talksport, it's a weird one because it's quite clear when you see the clips. They get people that clearly hate Man United, like Gabriel Bon Lahore and Danny Murphy. These are not people that support Man United in the slightest.
Oh, no
to
way.
come and talk about Man United affairs, and you know what reaction you're going to get from the people that are listening, and they know that, and that's what they're in business for, and that's fine by me. I mean, I'm not going to tell them how to run their business because it's clearly successful for them. But for someone like me, in fact, for all of us on this panel here, we do not buy into it. And just like Nerdy was saying earlier, I grew up on newspapers. So I grew up on reading
Sunday
newspapers.
paper.
Exactly,
Page
Sunday
3.
paper. Even when I was little, my dad used to take me to work with him sometimes, and I just sit there reading newspapers, looking for sports articles to see what's going on. That's how I grew up on it. And then when I saw something was actual news, that's when I would discuss it with my friends because I knew it was actually happening. I wouldn't believe a rumor. So the issue with social media now is anyone can come and say I'm a ITK I'm in the know. I know what's going on. I know this is happening. This player's going here. Like today, for example, a random person put a message out saying Sancho is late for training again. We don't know this, so I'm not gonna go and tell you. Oh God, here he is again. We already know he's been a bit of a naughty boy, but you don't know if that's factual, so don't buy into it. But that one person knows if I tweet that, it's the hot news. It's Man United again. Yeah, they'll grab onto it. Of course they will. And with that, sensibility is left. The building is now just chaos, and that's what Man United is right now. I called it, me and my friends and I call it the theatre of drama because there's always something going on. You've had Anthony, you've had Greenwood, you've had even when players have retired, somehow it comes back to us, and then you've got Sancho now. Ten Hag apparently is now losing the dressing room because some players are not happy about it. It will never end. It will never end. So I'm with you 100%, Stu. It's ridiculous, but you're right. It is going to get worse across all levels.
I'm just when I went to university, my gaffer, my professor, when I studied media and journalism as well, I do respect because we got taught the art of professional journalism to do the hard grafting, do the research, always following the trails. But look at two sides of the story, right? Don't go like one-sided, like it's, because the story is like a motor highway. It has 2 lanes, right? True. And always present those facts. And at the end of the day, you present it to the viewer, to the reader, and let them decide. The truth is their truth, right? You're not there to tell them the truth. But unfortunately, we're living in a kind of society where if we challenge this truth, if we challenge these journalists on Twitter, we get blocked, we get cancelled, right? You remember Miguel Delaney, he had a full-time job just canceling Manchester United fans, but we called him out, right? And same thing, same pressure needs to apply it for every single journalist that writing clickbait shit about our club. One journalist that I really respect is David Ornstein, to be honest, right? He doesn't write gash. He only, when he knows, he tweets. He doesn't tweet constantly, right?
Yeah.
But when he said something, then he's done the proper journalist, checked this side of the story, checked that on the story, because he doesn't want to be clipped. That's the thing, right? But what I see here, you have a lot of echo chambers. You see a lot of retweets. You see Fabrizio Romano reading other people's tweets and composing that tweets that is his. I'm just talking about Alfredo Padula that he stole the actually Amrabat story about as well because he was first to break it. And then everyone gave, here we go, his roses as well. And then it comes down to the takeover as well. When you actually see reports on one football app saying that takeover expert Ben Jacobs.
Yeah.
Since when did a sports journalist become a takeover expert? I thought you had to work for Bloomberg or Reuters to report on mergers and acquisition and Financial Times and all that stuff. So you see where this is going to, right? So the question comes down to what do you believe and who do you believe, right? Even in ITK, what is an ITK? In the know. Then journalists is in the know as well, right? True? No, just because you happen to have a LinkedIn connection, like with 20,000, people, and you get feed information, that makes you a better journalist than them, right?
Well, the interesting thing, Mick, about ITKs is they're always join me in an hour, breaking news in an hour. Well, a journalist with integrity never does that, Mick. He breaks the news. But you're absolutely right about how you present the story, how you structure a story, how you start with the pause and end with the pause, and that is make sure it's a double take. You always look for the positives and the negatives in any story, so that you can offer a balanced opinion. Kojo's right when he says, if we're talking about a rumor, you mention it's a rumor. We cannot corroborate this story, but this is the rumor that's out there, and we will report on this rumor, uncorroborated. And you make that very, very, very clear throughout the piece that you're writing 2 or 3 times, and you end it again. This story is uncorroborated, but we're reporting what we've heard, and that's fine, and that allows you to keep your integrity. But journalistic integrity now has gone completely out the window. Nobody cares about it, because how many followers have I got? That's all I'm interested in on my Twitter. How many followers have I got? What's my TikToks bringing? And this is where you're right about Fabrizio Romano. He's dumbed into this way of getting information out there, whether he's connected or not. But everybody looks for a here we go. Everybody gets.
You built an empire regarding this. You become the standard. Yeah. I don't believe it until Fabrizio Romano says it. That's
exactly right.
And I don't believe about the takeover news until Fabrizio Romano breaks it. Like, hang on a second. Since when did these journalists become like takeover experts? And then you try to downplay like Arman Sen and all them, David Hellier, Bloombergs and Reuters. They have no dog in the fight. All they do is to speak to, the big organizations that are doing mergers and acquisitions. They speak to the bankers, the lawyers, and everyone else. As soon as they put out something, they are jumping on them. They're killing each other. They're creating a media war. Because at the end of the day, we want to be first. We want to keep this gravy train rolling, right? But rest assured, Nuruddin, right? As soon as we get new ownership, that gravy train is gone. Whoever's leaking that information. Whoever's leaking that information. I mean, think about it. There's a lot of people that sit in there uncertain about the job, and they know as soon as they come in new ownership, they're going to lose their jobs. We have a certain fake footballer director. I rest assured that he's trying to get the manager under the bus, is leaking information as well, right? 100%, because he's very incompetent, right? We've seen it numerous times again, even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer exposed how bad they are. He handed in his transfer list, like, this is what I want. It's like you ordering a Big Mac, like, supersize, and they deliver you a Happy Meal with a little toy. Are you happy? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Manchester United is a circus, and
it's just to mask your incompetence, so you leak out the story to blame it on somebody else. It's clear and obvious, mate.
And the biggest thing was what one thing we can never go at the fan base and 100%, but I thought majority of the fan base really saw them for what they were. Like what Samuel Lucas reporting, all these other leaks, the majority of the fan base, because they want to throw another manager under the bus, and they think removing another manager is going to solve this. It's not going to be solved until the toxic owners, the people who set the environment, the culture, the agenda for Manchester United, until they're gone, we're not gonna be any better, because this is it. It's too many people, and the owners don't live here. They put a banker in charge, and I'm sorry, so I've got nothing against. Well, I've got a lot of things against modern bankers, but this banker does not know what he's doing. And then you've got people who are propping the Glazer with this so-called football structure that his name is Murta, and he's only there by name. He doesn't actually do anything.
Nope.
He's there by name. There's no result. And then you even got the chief negotiator, articles being written about him, about how good he is and how he's a reset. Manchester United model, when Fergie was here, and that's why Fergie, we call it Glazonomics now, but Fergie used to call it no value in the market. And then they came out with all this FFP when they've sold over 50 million in terms of youth players this summer. And they're still, I mean, big up Flex. I got nothing but love for Flex. But he goes on Sky Sports. Manchester United have got an agreement with Sky Sports that they have to repeat talking points from the club in terms of FFP. When he goes on his own channel, he doesn't talk that same way as he talks when he's on Sky Sports, because there you have to say the same thing. And I remembered when the media let it be known, they were like, Manchester United is done by FFP. Remember that title, headline?
Yeah,
we were done. It happens all across world football on a technicality, on a wording. That's what we got done for. We got found for a wording and an administration error, but they were queuing the fan base up for FFP. Ooh, FFP. But, you know, Glazonomics is the way it is. And at the end of the day, these journalists, they're all in on it. And like you said, we've demonstrated it. Everybody can see. They can see who's treating who. And now it's even got to that ridiculous. You've got a FIFA generation kid pretending that he played a computer game with Jadon Sancho and he's telling Jadon Sancho to go to bed. I mean, it's the most laughable thing. And actually, media organizations are picking that up and going, oh, yeah, he's been playing FIFA all night and all this. At the end of the day, I just see it. There is nobody to take control of this football club. We've got toxic owners, toxic football structure they set up, and every manager and majority of the players are not supported. I repeat, majority of you fans, you need to keep your eyes on the prize. It's never the one player, manager, or the coaching team. I've learned the hard way. I lost my hair because of Jose, because of that football I was not accepting. I was brought up under a certain standard in Manchester United. Even if you go back as far as the history of the Industrial Revolution, Manchester United came out of that. It came out of railway workers, Newton Heath, green and gold, what I'm wearing now. Before Norwich existed, those of you who are sarcastic going, oh yeah, Norwich scarves. Norwich were not even a football club before Manchester United were wearing green and gold. So just to put it into context, Manchester United was set up by hard-working workers to play something that they couldn't do themselves, to see attractive, entertaining football. We've been deprived of that for a decade, and no manager can succeed. And it really makes me laugh when people think we just swapped Ten Hag for Disabry, we swapped Ten Hag for Ange at Spurs, and it's going to go. No, the environment is not there. You're not there to thrive. You're there to get top four. The aim, the goal is there. And the whole media apparatus and everything that goes with it is there to prop that top four, and they'll tell you anything.
That's the whole apparatus. That's the whole apparatus.
But guys, listen,
it's not about
Mick,
winning.
I'm going to have to go, mate. Mick, I'm
going to
have to go
just
I'm really
one
hungry.
point. Yeah,
I'm really hungry.
Yeah. Okay, man. Just before you go, just a final thing. You mentioned a very good point regarding flex and everything. Before you go, even our fan camps are getting invited to ask questions, and I applaud that, right? Because they actually ask really good footballing questions to Erik ten Hag, while the other are asking gossip gash questions. Like, big up to you, Nuruddin. Big up to your cat as well. Smash a like for Nuruddin. Go and
listen, big up. Honestly, I'm not being on the channel. I hopefully return with Jarvis and everybody else. So big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. The only channel that when the majority of the British media were panicking was telling us to hold tight with Amrabat news was this channel. The guy that knew majority of the transfers Manchester United were doing was interviewed on this channel. So smash a like for Mick. Smash a like, the real journalism that's done here. The real interviews that are done here. So make sure and you subscribe to the channel. Big up. I've had a really long day, guys. I'm starving like Marvin.
Before you go, I want to return the favor. Go for people that haven't gone to Nuruddin's channel. Tell where people can subscribe.
It's there. If you just minus that chat there, is there. United Real Therapy, Mr. Structure on YouTube. Sorry, Mr. Structure on Twitter, United Real Therapy. There, we're passionate, we're raw, that's what we are. We're very emotional. My channel is if you're not here for emotional, raw opinion, then I don't clickbait fans. I talk about the substantive issues and the issues that affect Manchester United as a football club. I'm not about whatever followers or anything like that. I'm about just community of fans coming together and being frustrated. And it's a therapy channel. So on there, we speak the truth. Our depression, where we are, that's what we speak about.
Yeah. Just before you go, mate, just before you go, Paul, I want to bring
score prediction as well.
Yeah, I want to bring up your flex point because I thought you're absolutely spot on. I've got a lot of love for Flex as well. I've got no problem with him going on Sky Sports and representing Manchester United. But you're absolutely right about the twist and the narrative he has to follow. It's not something that I could do as a journalist. It isn't something I could. I'm not having to go at anybody here. But I thought it was a really good point that you made, and I don't think many people understood and understand that side of it. But for me, it's not something I could do. But I appreciate your point.
All right.
Big up. Score prediction. I'll be at the game tomorrow. I'm not a big fan of the Europa League. Europa League or the League Cup. I'm not. I used to like going to Europa League games back in the day under Fergie because I knew that it's our the youth talent. We used to be like, oh, they're gonna play, they're gonna get start. But I'll be there tomorrow with Sol. I don't know what team he picks, but I really hope that he rotates. I hope that we're getting some players back from injury. I really hope that we're getting some injuries back. That's the only big things concerning me. We've had a really big World Cup year last season. He played the majority of the short squad to death, and now we're suffering an injury. I know other clubs are suffering injury, but I think Ten Hag needs the grace. I think Ten Hag can be criticised. You can scrutinize his decision making, his in-game and his lineups, but there's a big difference between scrutinizing and moaning about a manager, tactics and in-game management, than being a manager out. Being a manager out is never going to fix this football club. What's going to fix this football is getting rid of the vultures. The vultures and their cronies that they've got in charge. So keep your eyes on the prize, people. And that's the message. And the message is clear. Big up, Jojo. Congratulations on a newborn, brother. Stuart, always a pleasure.
Yeah,
big up, brother.
Any chance to see Scholesy playing tomorrow? 4-footed.
Scholesy, can he play tomorrow? Nah,
he's 4-footed, right?
Hey, he's like, you know what he's like? I don't recognize that club anymore.
Big up, Nuruddin. Thank you for coming in.
Scholesy saying, I'm not coming out of retirement for a second time.
Listen, big up for coming in. Big up for your big words. It was always a pleasure. Looking forward to jump on your channel. What do you say? Love and light.
Always. Win, lose or draw. Bank us out, glaze us out. Love and light to everybody. Take care.
Absolutely.
Cheers, brother. Thank you. Big words from a big man. Thank you so much. Go check out his channel as well. Absolutely smashing. Just talking real. Kojo. Since I haven't seen you for a long time, what about Jadon Sancho's situation? Is the gash rumors coming out? He's sitting there on 350k per week and playing PlayStation to 3 a.m. in the morning on Twitch.
I don't mind if you play PlayStation to 4 a.m. as long as you make it to work. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I don't know why that's news. I genuinely don't know why that's news. And if I'm being very honest, my whole outlook on this situation is this. I don't think this should have been made a much bigger deal than it should have been after what Ten Hag said. Ten Hag said he didn't train well. Fine. So be it. Sancho made his statement. People were not happy that Sancho did that. Some people were not happy that Ten Hag spoke out loud about it. Is what it is. But the thing that worried me about what both of them said is that they clearly have a very big difference on what is a good training level. So for Ten Hag, he needs to establish with Sancho that your level's not good enough. You need to improve it because obviously you're a talented footballer. Everyone can see it. But what Sancho needs, or apparently Sancho needs to do about the apology, if he's not going to do it, fine. Let him train with the young ones or train alone. And then when it comes to January, if he goes, he goes. This is as far as it goes for me. I don't care if he's playing PlayStation. I really don't care. A lot of footballers do a lot of things in their private lives. Who cares if he's playing PlayStation? If he wants to play PlayStation till 3 a.m., but somehow to make it to training for 9 a.m., do his thing and then go back home, so be it. I don't care. I didn't care when Pogba was dancing with his brothers in videos and he went on Instagram. Why? Because he's spending time with his family. Why is that my concern? I don't care. even you go back in the days, obviously I was much younger then, so I didn't really register. But if the players won a game and they went for a pint, I don't care. That's their life. As long as they're not taking some sort of drugs that takes them away from playing football, because obviously you get a drugs ban and all that stuff. As long as they're not doing criminal behavior, as long as they're not slandering the name of the club and just engaging in, quite frankly, stupid activity, I do not care.
Yeah.
Now,
True.
I want Sancho to thrive. I have this issue now where I feel like a lot of footballers they have all the ability, but there's something that's just holding them back, whether that's themselves or people around them or the environment around them. Because I'll say this, even for Man United players that have been very well behaved and so on and so forth, I don't expect consistency from them because there's no such thing as consistency in Man United. The board isn't consistent with anything. We haven't had management that's been consistent for even 3 years plus, because we've had 8 managers, 2 of them being temporary, or actually 3, sorry, being temporary in the last 10 years. It's a joke. So I don't expect anything from them in general anyway. But if he's playing PlayStation, I don't know why that's anyone's concern. Hell,
Yeah, you can play PlayStation to 3 a.m. in the morning, but as long as you rock up in time to work, right?
do your thing. Look,
Do your thing,
before I had my kid, and when I was coaching, I would have to attend schools and maybe some camps and so on and so forth, clubs around 8 a.m. You would catch me at 2 a.m. playing PlayStation. But I'll close my eyes, go to bed, wake up, do what I need to do, get to work, get it done. If I'm tired when I get home, I have a sleep. It's very simple. As long as you get your job done, I don't care what you do. And I don't know why Man United fans are so fixated on this PlayStation thing.
I don't know either. Like, what people do in the personal life is not our business. OPP.
But
Are you down
guys
with
are
OPP?
talking
Yeah,
about-
you know me. You know that song, right? Big up,
Yeah,
Kev.
but what-
Van Kev. Big up. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Long time no seen. Anyway, keep going. Well
Sorry,
said.
yeah.
Listen.
What you guys were talking about was journalists and everything. See, this is where I criticize the fans because they buy into the BS.
Yeah.
United have lost. Essentially, I have this theory that United have lost all their culture with Sykes Ferguson and David Gill. It was like those two went away, and suddenly everything that we knew about the club just went away with them. We've lost our class. The fans have lost their composure. We used to be a club that would give young players all the opportunity in the world and all the patience in the world to grow. And if they didn't make it at United, so be it.
Yeah.
Tatis Chong.
No, but I'm just going like, in a normal work situation, if I refuse to come to work, if I refuse to listen to my boss, if I refuse to, apologize. I mean, at the end of the day, it was also reported that he's no longer allowed to train with the academy or, even keep contact because a toxic person will create a toxic environment. And you all know that in a work situation, right? You have some like cohesion, you have a good culture, togetherness, and all of a sudden you have this bad apple that sits there and spoil everything. Like, you're sitting having your coffee break, and there's always this bad apple that spoils the mood. And I can understand that, right? You get paid $350 per week, and at the end of the day, the club always wins. You cannot win, and you got to look yourself and who's advising you. Like, your agent has to tell you better, to say, shape up, mate, apologize, train, work harder than the last time, prove that you can have a spot, or we're going to have a difficulties in January because there was Roma was saying they were interested in recruiting him, but who's going to pay those wages, $350 a week, and who's going to have this Romelu Lukaku type of mentality as well? Like, I'm bigger than everything else, right?
Well,
and that is the generational talent. Some people are professionals. Like Amrabat in that interview said, like, describe your playing character. He said, I don't like to talk about myself. I like to show it on the pitch. So what do you do for leisure? Do you play PlayStation? He said, no, I don't have time. I eat right, I can recover, I eat, I train, and that's all I can do. Like, that's the football is the way of life, what he said. And Ten Hag taught me that. So it's down to you as an individual. Like, are you a footballing player, or are you just there for, hey, I made it. You know what? Look at me, I'm getting paper, and that's it, right? So
I would argue though, sorry, I would argue not against that, but rather with that, there are some players that we've seen, some brilliant players that didn't live that lifestyle, but they still had brilliance. See, I think that's where United fans are a bit frustrated with Sancho because I'm sure everyone's had or read many articles where people say Hazard is not the best trainer. When he goes home, he doesn't do the stuff that you speak about living football and eating right and everything. But when he went on the pitch, he just saw magic. And we're not seeing that with Sancho, so that adds to the frustration. So when I say I don't care about what he's doing, it's not to take away from what I hope he would do. We all want all these players to look after themselves and get on the pitch and give the best for the club, and even for themselves. At the end of the day, have some bit of pride about your career. But
Yeah, true.
Man
But
United fans are fixated on the wrong things. They're just fixated on the wrong things. That's my opinion. I think they're just talking about stuff that doesn't matter. Focus on what
Listen,
really matters. But
at the
yeah,
end of the
that's my
day, either you play for the team or you play for yourself, right? You play for your own brand. There's some people that don't get it, right? They only care about their own brand, because at the end of the day, you get a lot of sponsorships, deals, that and that. So, when he came out to defend himself, like 40 minutes after that interview, Ten Hag, it was just to protect himself and his brand, and to scapegoat everything else, to say, I've been a scapegoat. But one thing that doesn't work is that you go against the club that pays you the salary at the end of the day.
That's true.
Can we nip this in the bud and move on? Because I don't think he's going to play for United ever again, and unless he rocks up and apologizes to his teammates as well and to the coach, and actually shows that he's not Jason Sancho, but Jadon Sancho, the guy that we actually recruited him for.
He's finished. He's finished, Mick. I think you're both right. The problem also with Sancho is he'll never have the trust. If I was in that dressing room, I would never trust him. I would never be able to look at him and think, if I'm going to go to war today, I've got somebody alongside me who's going to help me, going to dig the trench for me. You haven't got that with him. I also agree with you guys. Look, I don't give a damn who he's sleeping with. If he's plays PlayStation, I don't care what he drives. I don't care any of that. And if you can't get to work on time, or you haven't got the personality to want to get to work on time,
you get fired.
Yeah,
right?
That's it. And that's all.
So imagine you coming late to work every time. You're not completing your task. You're going to get a disciplinary, and they're going to put you on a 10 weeks trial period. Performance management. And if you can't complete that, you're out.
Yeah, and you're right about his brand as well, Mick. And his brand is taking out right hammering at the minute. He's killing his brand. So I'd be amazed to know who's advising him and why this is happening. But there's too many tales, isn't there? There's Ravel Morrison. Yeah. There's too many tales. There's Dele Alli. There's too many tales of this type of Danny Cadamassery back in the day at Everton. Wonderful talents. So.
Madhouse is saying I want a 10 out of 10 player game per game, not a 7, because you get a little bit of sleep. True, 100%. Kojo, I just want to sort of move on as well, because we are a little bit of concern time. VR room, big up to all of you. Please don't forget to smash the like. We will get to your comments as soon as we can. There's so many of you. We have so much to talk about here right now, so we want to at least get it over so you can go back to your baby as well, Kojo.
Yes.
Listen, I want to bring something as well to your attention, because I think that I'm going to talk about the FA Ref Association, right? Do you call it a conspiracy that they have something against us, or is it actually factual, right? Because I want to bring this to the stage, peeps, right? I wrote a tweet because this is kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. Is the Ref Association with the new rules that you cannot talk to the referee at all, talk to the hand. They sort of distance themselves like authoritarians, like it's becoming this authoritarian regime. Don't talk to us, or you get a yellow card. Don't complain. Do not ask questions or decisions, or we punish you. If you do complain, we give you a punishment extra 1 day ban or 2 games ban, right? The hate against United is a fact, right? Am I actually waffling here, or am I actually seeing something? Because if you see the VAR decision regarding Spurs when we played, Garnacho was actually shooting right against the goal, open wide goal, and you had Romero clear and obvious with his hand out there, right? And it wasn't given. And then you see Arsenal Spurs yesterday, same incident, and was given, right? And then you hear this yesterday, to be honest, right? If we can play this, right, without even getting copyright, which was Dermot Gallagher, the attempts to explain the difference between the Christian Romero incident and the Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho situation. Have you seen this one, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Can we hear this?
No.
You can't hear this.
No,
No.
I can't.
Okay, well, it's not playing the sound, but if you haven't seen it, go check it out on this tweet, Football Daily, was basically asked the question, like, what is the difference? And somebody asked the question, well, what is the difference between the Manchester United? It's the same incident. And he went like, Liz Truss straight away on a defense, like a gunner. He couldn't even answer, It's absolutely a disgrace, to be honest.
Yeah.
I want your thoughts and opinions, because there was another incident yesterday, guys. I think it was Newcastle game, right? I think it was Longstaff that was driving the ball. It was clearly out on the byline, and it was even hitting his hand, and it was a goal. Same thing happened to Marcus Rashford, where he touched it in to Højlund, who actually got robbed on his debut goal. What else can we talk about? I think it goes all the way back to the City Derby, when they got so much pelters because of the VAR decision that was allowed, because it was actually there. We saw the Garnacho also situation where it was, against Spurs as well. The offside situation. There's been 3 or 4 dodgy referee decisions against us, and the latest, which didn't really affect us because we went ahead and won the game 1-0. But that was not an offside. He wasn't blocking the Højlund was not blocking the sight of the goalkeeper. What's your thoughts and feelings? Like, am I conspiracy delusional, or am I seeing something that is in an agenda?
Tricky one. I interviewed a couple of weeks ago Keith Hackett, and I had quite an in-depth interview with him with regards to decisions that have gone against us, as a club. And I stopped short on asking him about a conspiracy theory, because it's always difficult to kind of prove or disprove, isn't it? It's one of those. But one of the things he said, which I thought was fascinating, was that the on-field referee now is petrified of being overruled by VAR. He said there's this real fear that if they make a mistake or they put the whistle to their mouth and they're not 100% sure, and then he says they suffer the embarrassment of having to go to the on-screen to then know that they've got to come back and overrule their own decision. They're doing everything to avoid it. But he also said the inconsistencies between the interpretation of a simple rule, such as handball, he says nobody knows really what's right and what's wrong. And he's talking about anyone, any country, any referee. They don't know what actual handball is at the moment. Now, if I remember rightly, they were talking about the distance, weren't they, between Romero, the 2 differences between Romero. Yeah. And they were saying that the one, it was too far, or too... no, sorry, it was too close or something, or too far. I can't remember what he was saying. I can't remember his words. But equally, we know that any handball in the area when your arms at this position, which both were, is a penalty. That's it. So do you go that if you handle the ball in the area as a defender, it's a pen? Across the board, whatever.
Stone cold.
Yeah. So that's it. Now, we know that clever players will look for that then, won't we? Because I would, if I was in the area, I'd try and flick it up to a hand, try and get a pen. Certainly if you're losing, you would do. And then obviously if a striker handballs or there's a handball from, the striking team and it goes in, it's ruled out. But it's too cut and dry, isn't it? It's too black or white.
But also in the Champions League, this gets robbed off the Champions League as well.
Well, yeah, we had
the first time in European Champions League history. I mean, I rate VAR in Europe. That's good, right? But for the first time, the check was complete, but they asked to recheck it and asked the referee to go. And I go, Swedish ref, what are you doing? It's never happened before.
No, but the rules are the same across the globe. the rule is the same right across the globe. So the question we've got to be asking IFAB is, why is there this interpretation problem from league to league, country to country? Because there is, and you're right, Mick, about the Champions League, 100%. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
We got robbed.
It's never happened before. And this is the problem, the consistency of it. I do believe, rightly or wrongly, by the way, that I think there are some referees that just won't have it for Manchester United. I do believe there's a small portion of referees that won't accept and won't have it. And they'll do everything they can to cause Manchester United issues. I've lost count of how many VAR decisions we've had go against this season alone.
Oh.
Probably more than we had last season, and these are contentious ones, really contentious ones.
But these are game changers as well, which actually affects the result.
Yeah, they do. But as footballers, because we all played a game, and as fans, you should never rely on VAR, should you? You shouldn't have to rely on VAR to win you that game of football. But that's my thoughts anyway.
Yep.
Sure,
Kojo, I have a solution. Are you willing to hear me out regarding the handballing rule? Let's make it very freaking simple. Anything that touches the hand within that 6-yard box is a stone cold penalty. That's the only way you can solve it. You're not supposed to touch the ball. Only the goalkeeper is supposed to touch the ball within that 6-yard penalty. You cannot say, oh, it's not a national position. Doesn't matter. Just make it one simple rule. You touches your hand, it's a penalty. End of discussion. What do you reckon?
That makes it more simpler. They would find a way to complicate that, but that makes it a lot simpler. They, at this point, I feel like they're just freestyling. I think they don't know what the rules are, and they just have to go off what they think. I mean, the Arsenal one, I thought was the only reason I thought it was a penalty is just because it was goal bound. That's the only reason why I could give. But other than that, if you're giving that one and you're not giving our one at White Hart Lane or Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, whatever it's called now, then you're clearly, there might just be an agenda out there. It doesn't make sense. And in that clip, obviously we couldn't hear it on our side, but from what I remember, Dermot Gallagher was stumbling all over his words because he didn't have an answer for that question.
No.
So you said what a week or two prior, whenever we played Tottenham, that was no way a penalty. You said 100% it's not a penalty. Those were his words. So
yeah, but they are protecting themselves. Can't you see this? They're becoming like authoritarians.
Absolutely.
They're distancing themselves. Don't question us. If you talk to us, talk to the hand, you get a yellow card. Only the captain is allowed to. Bruno's tried to talk to him. He got a yellow card. I'm the bloody captain. What's going on here, right? If you can't, seriously, like if you're spending so much money, you have eagle eye technology, you have 5, cameras on each side, right? If you spend so much money and you still can't get it wrong, what's the point of having it? You might as well listen. I foresee something in 10 years' time with AI technology. Soon we will have bots running the referee.
Yeah,
more accurate.
Keith Hackett said that, Mick. Keith said that he was instrumental in starting the goal line technology, and he was also instrumental in the beginnings of VAR. But what he was talking about was, and I don't know enough about this, by the way, so I'm going to probably stumble over my words here, but he was actually talking about real life and frames per second, that VAR can be a lot clearer than what the images that Sky Sports can provide. And he's talking about the frames per second, and he did go into it in a little bit more detail. He wasn't saying that was the issue with VAR, by the way. He was just making a point that it can be difficult on occasions.
But they're all mates. They're all mates. They're talking to each other.
No, there's that.
Yeah,
that is true. Oh, Nigel.
Yeah. So it's a big up. Like we've seen corruption. It does exist, but it's haram to talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about it. We don't know. That's the thing, right? This is the thing. But there's clear an agenda. Oh, you better check this. It's Manchester United, right? We're talking about the Garnacho goal, the offside ruling goal. It was not offside against Spurs, right? You better, even the linesman was not even reacting, but there was whispering in his ear, you better come here, check it's Manchester United, right? You remember that one, the VR ruling that we gave for Rashford against City last season? We got pelters for that in the media. So ever since then, they've been like, oh, it's Manchester United. We better be careful, right? Anyway, big up. We have a super chat coming in raw. Like, guys, we got to take this as well because otherwise we are neglecting everyone. We have a super chat coming in all the way from Nigel Flynn. Big up, man, for your contribution. Hi, lads. Yes, we have 5 or 6 bad decisions this season. However, Brighton had so many bad decisions against Spurs last season in one game. Yeah. Any thoughts and comments?
Well, he's right, but I put it down to the quality of the referees. And one of the questions I ask Keith is, what is it now that that allows you to become a referee? I know you start from grassroots, etc., and you work your way forward, but all these referees are being fast tracked. They're being fast tracked through to the Premier League, and we just don't have it. And he's a real advocate, and he's going to start pushing for players that don't make it at 18, 19. Kojo, what you were talking about, Mick, what you've been talking about for weeks. Players that haven't got a career to go to, for the FA or the PGMOL to pay these players, these ex-players, to go on these courses and do an 18-month course and become a referee. Somebody who understands the pace of the game, the speed of thought, not only the speed of legs, but the speed of thought in a match. And he feels that would be the best option. I do. The quality of the ref is awful. I mean, we had to bring out an Australian ref, didn't we? Jared, whatever his name is. And it's just one. It's bad. It's bad news. It's bad news.
I feel you, Stephanie. Varsenal, and Varsapool as well. Liverpool gets also favorite decisions. I want to talk about another thing before we go to the game as well tomorrow, because we do play a game tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the media bias also, trying to criticize our manager, but they're not criticizing Poch or Chelsea that's spending over 1 billion in new squad, and doing horrendously, and nobody's talking about that. But they like to talk about Manchester United. They try to throw the manager under the bus. Gary Neville, the Sky Sports BTs, they've been told to speak that shit, to be honest. But why is nobody talking about that? Why is nobody talking about City, with the 115 allegations anymore, right? They're all bigging them up,
It's all stopped, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're not Man United. No club in this country generates clicks more than Man United Football Club. And no club is hated more than Man United Football Club, because everyone hates the period of dominance that Man United had over everybody. And in this era right now, where you have these new journalists and so on and so forth, they're the people that grew up within that era hating the club. So your guy like Bono Halls and all that, like I mentioned earlier. And I mentioned him in particular because there was one day I was at the TalkSport studio, and I didn't even do any work with him, but he just came into the studio. We were losing a game. I forgot what game it is. Watching the game, and he just stood in front of everyone and said, "Fucking hate them, love this. Hope they fucking lose." And I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, this is who you get to talk about Man United on a weekly basis. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
It's not the same.
Get at least Anil Kandola. He's a massive Manchester United, a mate of ours as well. Anil talks sense. He works for TalkSports as well, but no, he doesn't get on. Get somebody that hates Manchester United, talk about Manchester United, to be honest, right? Yeah. But I have a theory, guys. But before that, I want to also give a shout out to a super chat from Peter Elianteno. So Tony isn't the only that bets. Oh, Peter, I love it. No, I do have a big up, Peter, for your super chat. I do have a theory. I was thinking about the other day. You remember how Sir Alex used to abolish every single journalist to come to the press conference? He used to say, "You're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. You're out. You're out. You're out." They were afraid of him, right? So I think this is kind of a little bit of a revenge on all of those years of that treatment. I used to say, once the cat is gone, the mouse come out and play. There's a saying. So they are now out playing, and they're having their revenge, potentially.
Well, Mick, if they are genuinely upset because he stopped them from coming because they weren't doing their job, but just telling the truth, then they didn't deserve to be there in the first place. And when he pulled up on them and he said it in a press conference, "Your job is to tell the truth. I've brought you back in here. You're gonna come here and tell the truth. Don't twist my words. Don't BS about the club. And when we say don't talk about something, don't do it, and you do it anyway, you don't deserve to be there. So if they're generally upset because someone told them to do their job correctly, that speaks volumes about who they are.
Yeah. They should go like this, like, before the press conference, what I did just do. Now put your hand out, like, put your hand out like the Bible and say, I hope to swear the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Okay. Begin the press conference. What's going on with Harry Maguire? Out. What's going on with Sancho? Get out. What's going on with the, how are you going to play against Crystal Palace? Oh, now we can talk, right?
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. Because if we sit there and covering the MUTV, like whenever they have the manager's press conference, it's like embargo session, 10, 15 minutes. You do expect to hear, like, some really astute questions to understand, like, what's going on here? How are we going to play? Who's injured? No. 5-6 minutes, you hear about, like, Hollywood Insider asking, like, oh, what's going on with this one? What's going on with Jadon Sancho? What's going on with Cristiano Ronaldo? Oh, because that shit sells money. Click, money, Bates. More than the footballing side of it. I'm tired of it. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to touch base on that because we do have a game to play tomorrow, and I realize that we are in 1 hour and 50 minutes. People, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't fall asleep. Appreciate everyone that's in here. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Buy me a coffee there as well if you want to give a tip. You can scan the barcode because doing YouTube takes a lot of time, and everything goes back into this channel. So I can have this beautiful gentleman in here. Honest to God, I cannot pay them as of yet, but eventually in the future when we grow. So big up to all of you. And I think Uncle Jimmy was just sending me a message as well to see if he's coming on or not. No, his kid just were. Yeah, he will join us soon. He also has a child. Jimmy, Uncle Jimmy, right?
Yes, I believe so. I think
Star City. Yeah, that's cool. He's coming on as well. Like, so guys, we're playing tomorrow, right? What do we expect? Do we expect some form of rotation? I mean, if we're gonna talk about that.
I expect little, actually, to be honest. I think Ten Hag might look at this as a potential to go, a potential springboard for us to maybe do the domestic double. I don't think we're good enough for Champions League glory, and we're obviously not going to win the title. But I think for Ten Hag to defend the Carabao Cup, I think it's going to be something quite important to him. I do expect to see our Turkish keeper. Yeah, I expect him to play, but I think we've got so many problems in terms of our squad depth at the moment. There's going to be very little for manoeuvrability for him to play. So I expect Amrabat to come in and start. I think Eriksen might start. I think Bruno might get rested. Maybe Palestri.
Did you say arrested or rested?
Arrested.
Don't get him arrested, please. We had enough of this. I thought, okay.
I think he might get rested, and I play Hoyland. I think he needs to continue to develop that way. I play Rashford, so I wouldn't make too many changes. But I think the goalkeeper, for one, I think he'll get his debut.
Okay. What do you reckon, Kojo?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. To be fair,
should we just defend? We are defending title contenders of the Energy Cup.
We are.
So, do you reckon he will absolutely rest, and he's like, I'm gonna, win back to back here?
I think he's got to go back to back. My own personal.
I would say play the kids. He needs to rotate.
How many kids would you play though? The whole team, or you?
I don't know. I don't have any kids to play, right? I can offer him my cat, my dog. They're both full-footed and they can run, right? They have a lot of energy. Okay, so let's do this, people. Let's do this together with the VR room. Let's start to compose this because I find this very difficult, right? Regulon was not injured. He was just feeling ill. So it was not an injury. But he played with heart, even if he was sick. He was like stomach sick or something. So do you reckon he will start here as a left back, or do we see something else? Or do we see Dalot starting as a left back, and you might play a Lindelof as a right back, as he did for Benfica and Sweden national team sometimes?
No, play your left back as a left back. Just give Reguilon more minutes, get him used to it, because he hasn't played consistent 90 minutes football for how long now? He didn't do it at Tottenham, didn't do it on loan, so
Yeah,
yeah,
You need to rev that engine, is what you're saying.
yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Rev that engine, get him warm. Like a Lipitson stallion gets better if he gets warmed up and sweaty, like, and then they will run. Okay, Reguilon, we all go with Reguilon. I can see the chat is also saying Sofian Amrabat will start as well. Who else will start? Lucky Singh is saying, what are you saying? Oh, this is moving so fast, guys. Hang on a second. I want to give a shout. Amrabat, Ericsson, Mason Mount, Bruno, Saturday. Yeah, 100%. Do you reckon... I don't know. I go back to you, Stu and Kojo. Who do you think will start? Varane will start 100% because he needs game time.
Yeah, I think Varane starts, and I think it's Varane Lindelof. I think Evans will get benched. I don't think he'll risk Evans too close. So I think it'll be Varane Lindelof. Yeah.
Okay, Lindelof, I agree. Do you agree with that, Kojo?
I thought he was gonna go Lindelof Evans, but you made the point obviously about resting Evans, because Evans is what, 35 now, so I don't know if he can do two.
What about Evans and Varane?
I wouldn't personally, just because Varane's just come back from injury, and I'm not sure if Evans can do a full 90 after doing 90. Yeah. So I would have gone to Evans, but he Stu made a good point about the rest. So yeah, I agree with Lindelof and Varane.
Okay, yeah. I would see, like, in that case, I would just say that I have a sneaky suspicion. I have just a sneaky suspicion. I'm going to share my theory. I think he will start Lindelof as the right back.
Okay, I know Evans still back.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility. He has played there for.
But then you risking to get your centre backs injured as well. So yeah, and also Maguire is fit. Slabby.
Is he fit? Is he?
Yeah,
if he's fit, then I think he plays. Yeah,
I was about to say that. I didn't realise Maguire was fit. I didn't realise that. So I think Maguire.
Oh, Harry Maguire. So yeah. Maguire will play against with the Varane. You reckon?
With Lindelof.
Yeah, I don't think Varane plays. I didn't realise Maguire was fit. I thought he was injured still. So no, that's changed my thought.
I know what the fans are saying. No, Slabby Maguire. I understand what a lot of people are saying. I know. I know. Every time it comes on, it's like, you should have left, mate. You should have left when you had a chance, but you took your agent's advice and you stayed for the money.
Guys, we got to use the squad, man. Whether you like him or not, he's got to play at some point. So
yeah, he's one of ours. So we gotta.
And support him whilst he's there. Don't boo him.
He would have probably played in front of Evans if he'd been fit on the weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm with Jamie Wayne here, to be honest. I'm not really asked about the Carabao Cup this time. We cannot. At the end of the day, we have so many injury problems right now. So we gotta look what's important, right? Even if we drop off the Carabao Cup, I would say, that's good, right? We don't have to defend this Energy Cup title, right? Because we are in Champions League, so we should focus on Champions League and the Prem, and potentially the FA Cup, right?
Go for the League Cup.
Go for the League Cup, the simple one.
Go for the League Cup.
I think Ten Hag's, his mentality is he'll want to retain it.
Okay.
Really.
All right, so I'm moving on, adding on Dalot here anyway, because we cannot agree.
Yeah, Dalot 100% rise. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think this is a cup, and then we got to play the Prem. I think not Varane. I don't think Varane.
No, I think
I think Lindelof will get a rest because he looks a little bit knackered. That's what I'm thinking. And Varane needs a little bit of game time.
Okay. So Varane Maguire.
Maguire then. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think it would be Varane and Maguire. I'm sorry, VR room. I even think Johnny Evans will get a, because he did well.
He did what? Rest him.
I don't think we'll risk. Yeah, I don't think we'll risk him. Too close.
Maybe this me just don't put Maguire.
Yeah, I know.
People, I have nothing against Maguire. It's just that I don't like whenever he's on, he's always offering his own goal or something else, and I'm tired of it at the end of the day. Colossal, whatever you call it, danger. Johnny Briggs and Slabby Maguire was people are saying Amrabat has to start.
Yes, I think he starts.
And I go with the formation of 4-2-3-1.
Excuse me.
Amrabat. We saw 5 or 6 minutes with Amrabat. Who plays next to Amrabat? Ericsson and Bruno, or do you think Bruno would be rotated? Bruno has to play. He's the captain, right?
Bruno always plays.
Bruno always plays. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would put
Gore, Hannibal
alongside Amrabat and put Ericsson in as a 10.
But that means that Bruno is not playing because Mason
Yeah,
Mount
I'd rest him. Yeah, I'd rest him. I wouldn't play him. But he always plays. Kojo's right. He always plays.
Well, he needs a rest.
He does.
Okay. So who do we put there? Hannibal. I see Hannibal here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did well. I really like Hannibal Medjbury. And who plays as number 10? Maybe a Donny van de Beek.
Oh, forgot about him.
I can't see that. So it's a great shout, but I can't see. I think Ericsson comes in.
Yeah.
As a number 10.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do. I know some of the VAR rumours suggesting Mount. I don't know how fit he is. I know he's training, isn't he? But
I don't know. Mount will come off the bench, I think.
Yeah, I think Ericsson personally.
Yeah, same.
Rashford needs to be dropped.
He certainly does.
Yeah. Ericsson, I will go Garnacho here.
Yeah, I'd love to see Garnacho start.
A little bit cheese on my Garnacho, and I see Palestri.
I'd love to see Garnacho and Palestri. I'd love that.
Play the youth, play the kids.
Yeah.
But
I think Rasmus starts as well.
You reckon? Not Martial?
No, I think Højlund.
Højlund needs a little bit of warming up more.
He does, yeah, I'm afraid so, yeah. The Castrol GTX, if you remember the advert, it's slowly but surely sliding down the tin. It needs to accelerate a bit.
Yeah, I don't think Rashford is. He had a car accident.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Uninjured though, isn't he? But shocked.
Uninjured, but still shocked. But
yes.
Still, there is a player in him, but his mentality is not really there. Has he been affected by his best mate not being in the dressing room? You know, those kind of things. Like, is he sulking because of that? It's down to I think it's coming down to the manager to say, like, you know, apply your standards. Like, if you're not good enough, you don't play. If you're not in form, you're not in play. But I think he's playing him to get him into form. At the end of the day, I think he's always there's always a goal in Rashford.
Yeah.
And I love Rashford. I always defended Rashford, but I say, look, man, if you have a Garnacho that's more in form, knocking on the door, that offers more right now at the moment, take him off the bench, let him get hungry, you know? Yeah. That's what you do. You're not going to finish your dinner? Watch us eat, and you might get hungry.
Absolutely.
That's what my parents used to do to me as a kid. You don't want to finish? Okay, you're not going to get anything. You got to sit here by the table and watch us eat. And that's like, Dad, can I have a little bit? No.
Yeah.
Anyway. I mean, do we agree with this lineup? At the end of the day, we don't know, right? This is, this is what Ten Hag usually, we don't know.
Yeah, no.
It's good enough.
It's good. It's good enough. It's good enough. Palace are a good side, absolutely, but
they got problems, haven't they, Cojo, Palace?
Well, they have big problems.
Yeah, they got injuries as well, haven't they? I think Hodgson will be Premier League conscious. I think we'll get through 2-0 tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. Yeah, 2-0 win, no problem.
No problems at all. Okay. Elise is going to start, right? He's one of the best players of Crystal Palace, according to my opinion.
Good player, isn't he? Good player.
Very good player. I mean, wasn't he supposed to go to City, right?
Yes, they put a bid in for him, but Palace said no, didn't they?
Yeah, they challenged it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to hear your score predictions as well. I'm still waiting for Jimmy to come. Maybe he will not come, but anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to drum on the stream. So I want to finish off very soon. I don't want to do a marathon stream. So, guys, let me know your score prediction. Edward Reid is saying 3-0 win to Manchester United. I see a 3-0 win too. Altar Bandair, I'm looking forward to see him as well if he starts. You reckon he will start, the new goalkeeper?
I do. I think it's a great opportunity to play him and blood him. I would, he's been working hard in training, and by all accounts, he's a quality addition to the squad. I don't know a great deal about him, but he's he's 129 appearances for Turkey.
Yeah,
he's played in some derbies over in Turkey as well. For Fenerbahce against Galatasaray, he's been there. I think he'll play. Yeah, I would. I wouldn't even bat an eyelid. Put him straight in.
Oh no! This game is meant for the second goalkeeper to give him a try. At the end of the day. So looking forward to see that. Like that's our new signings. I want to see that. Alien 10 is going 2-0 to Manchester United. Matt is going 2-1 to United. Mark is going very positive with an uppercut 4-0 Manchester United. That's a very positive, Marky. I wouldn't jinx it. All right. But we're playing at Old Trafford. It's going to be exciting. 2-0. That's what LB is saying. 2-0 says Lucky Singh as well. 60 likes. What's Steph? That's not a score prediction, but guys, 60 likes. Get it up to 100 degrees, 100 likes if you can, or even more. 2-0 is what Lucky Singh is saying. A lot of people going with 2-0. Even Milos Micic all the way from Serbia. Dobro večer, Miloš, kako si? I forgot to say hello. And Jason Attack is saying 3-1 to United. Maguire own goal. Oh, no. God, Jason Attack.
Come on,
Seriously, what are you doing to me, Jason? Oh, my God. I cannot believe I was saying that. But do you reckon he will be an own goal if Maguire starts then?
No, I think Big Harry could get on the score sheet tomorrow. Bullet header from a Palestri corner.
It's time for us to start supporting the guy, man. We can't keep doing horrible predictions about him.
Jason, we got to do this.
We want to attack!
Jason Attack, we want to attack. Big up to you, mate. Welcome to the stream as well. I
RJ said 6-0. I don't know if you saw it, Mick.
What?
RJ, I think it was RJ said 6-0.
Whoa. Where did I see that? 6-0, yes.
Yeah.
RJ.
6-0.
Well, at least it's not like 8-0 or whatever, what the mad result it was the other day. Newcastle.
Yeah, 8-0. Yeah, beat Sheffield United, didn't they?
Well, at least the beat the 7-up, to be honest. We don't have the 7-up anymore. It's 8-up now. 1-0 was Nigel Flynn is saying. Big up to you.
Yeah.
Scotty, what are you saying? Ketchup has said Sancho made an open apology to their first team, and Ten Hag tried to get back into the first team, and Eric had taken on to the board, and now will address situations in the next few days. Well, I don't know. Ketchup. Maybe that's a sauce. Yeah, I get the joke. Ha ha ha. Very funny. You see, Martial is opening the scoring, but depends on, will Martial start?
I don't think he starts. I think you play Højlund. I think you've got to. I think the kid needs it. So I don't think you play Martial. However, it wouldn't surprise me if we're completely wrong, Mick, and he starts to like some Martial, Rashford. Bring Sancho in from the cold because he's apologized overnight.
Yep. You're back from the doghouse, Sancho.
Yeah.
You've been a naughty boy.
Yeah, RJ, get out there and score.
We have RG saying Sofia Namrada expected to start his first start at Manchester United at Crystal Palace tomorrow, according to Standard Sport. Guys, I want to talk to you about this because I believe so. He will start. He will have a reception. He will have his unveiling from the home crowd. He'll come out and people will applaud him. Kojo, what's your theory on that?
I think it's a good place to start him. I'm always a fan. I've been a fan of never giving someone a debut away from home. I always wanted to be at home.
He will have a debut.
Get the feel
he will have
club.
A debut.
Yeah, So
he's gonna play.
Yeah,
he's gonna play. So.
I think so.
We were waiting for him he was waiting for us for the whole summer, right? People were joking like it's Back to the Future 2030. Amrabat still waiting.
Yeah.
With gray hair.
Awesome.
Yeah. United saying 242 saying we think Amrabat will start as a left back.
No.
As a
No, I
right back.
hope not.
No.
I hope not.
No,
No.
I think Casemiro looks knackered. I think Casemiro will
He
need a
does.
break.
Yeah.
He will sit on the bench. And we will, if we need, we will basically if we're in trouble, we will bring in the big guns, right? So Rashford will sit on the bench and all the big guns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% a guarantee, guys. Anyway, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. We are running out of the time. I was waiting for Uncle Jimmy to come, but obviously he's not going to come. And if he comes, he's going to kiss the door because nobody's here.
He is.
Anyway, Jimmy, if you can hear this, sorry, we'll see you next time. Kojo, please, it's time to go because I know we promised your wife 90 minutes. First and foremost, congratulations to your baby. Where can people find you, Kojo?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Free Midfield Podcast on YouTube, Free Midfield, or Cojo Free Midfield, or it's my personal Twitter over here. Just like, comment, subscribe. Free Midfield is going through a bit of a reboot at the moment, so we're not throwing out much content, but when the podcasts do start again and they are a lot more consistent, you want to catch the stuff going on. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But more importantly, on this channel, if you're here, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I don't know what the hell you're doing, so hurry up and press that button.
Yeah, since you are not doing much with your podcast, maybe we can borrow you a little bit more often.
Yes.
Give me a shout. Give me a shout.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Now, I spoke to Anil Condola as well. Like, I want to do something like, more once a week or something. Like, I have a real football conversation, like talk about the United experience, talk about the media, talk about what's going on off the pitch, on the pitch, and, be more a little bit of a serious note in certain ways. There's certain ways where you can have more jokes inside, but it's also good to talk about real life in general. So big up Kojo. Everyone go smash the like for Kojo as well. Go follow him on Twitter and on his YouTube page as well. Stu Wally, thank you for coming out and sharing your experience as an editorial, as a journalist. You can find Stu here on every Monday as well, but you can also see him on the weekly Armchair podcast, can you? Or what is it called?
Yeah. The weekly Armchair podcast. I'll be doing a couple of tactical previews over the next few weeks, and on the odd occasion you can see me on Awful United, but here every Monday, thanks to my good mate Nick and Jarvis, and thanks for your support, guys. Kojo, just so you know, pal, I'm a 22-year-old parent veteran, and it's the best thing you'll ever do, mate, in your life.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
100%.
You kiss your daughter every day, mate, because it's the most amazing thing.
Yeah. And if you don't like and subscribe, I'm going to go like this.
Maybe don't show your daughter that, Kojo.
No, I'm going to send my evil mini-me on you if you don't like and subscribe right now, right here. Get it up to 100. Big up for all of you for coming in raw and hard and with some facts. I really liked it. I really enjoyed this United experience today. Also having you as well, Kojo. It's been a very long minute. Look, mate, all the best with you and your baby, and have a good night, people, wherever you are tuning in from the world. It's been Mick Ruby here from MUFC Realist TV with Stu Wally, with Kojo, and also big thanks for Nuruddin that came in as well. And sorry, Jimmy, you couldn't make it. But guys, that's all for now. Hopefully we get some victory tomorrow. Take it easy and good night. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.